All right, get ready for a deep dive, folks.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving deep into representing long volumetric video with temporal Gaussian hierarchy.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
It is, but it's making waves, in computer graphics.
Big waves.
Big waves, and you know why?
Why?
It's tackling a challenge that's been plaguing, like immersive experiences.
Yeah.
How do you create those really realistic, long, volumetric videos? And I'm talking minutes, not just a few seconds.
Right.
Without, your computer just like exploding.
Yeah, melting down.
Melting down, exactly.
poor cat thing.
It's a big one.
Huge.
So what's so fascinating is that this team from Zhejiang University and Stanford, they seem to have like cracked the code.
Yeah, they found a way.
They found a way, yeah. And that's where this whole temporal Gaussian hierarchy, TGH, exactly, comes into play.
Catchy, right.
Catchy. But before we get all like, down into the weeds.
Yeah, the nitty gritty.
Let's take a step back and make sure we're all on the same page about what volumetric video actually is.
Right, because it's not just your average everyday video, it's like capturing a moment in time, but in 3D.
Whoa.
Yeah, imagine like being able to step inside a scene and walk around.
I'm blowing my mind right now.
From any angle, like you're really there. That's the magic of volumetric video.
That's wild. So how do they even capture that?
Well, the traditional systems, they've been around, for a while, but they were pretty clunky. Oh yeah, tons of cameras, bulky setups, expensive, not exactly user-friendly.
Got it.
But then neural rendering came along.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
AI to the rescue.
Right.
Reconstructing scenes from multi-view videos.
Okay, so that made things a bit more accessible.
Definitely. And we've seen some impressive techniques come out of that, like 3D and 4D Gaussian splatting.
Those are 3DGS and 4DGS, right?
You got it.
For those who are following along.
They use these things called Gaussian primitives, like imagine 3D pixels to represent the scene.
Interesting. So they're like the building blocks.
Exactly.
But even with all that, those long videos were still a problem, right?
Oh, yeah, a major bottleneck.
Like trying to cram, I don't know, the entire Library of Congress into a backpack.
Perfect analogy.
Just too much data.
Way too much.
So that's where our hero comes in.
Our hero.
TGH.
Yeah.
Uses this really clever hierarchical structure, kind of like a family tree, to organize everything.
It's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine this tree with multiple levels, right? Each level representing a different time scale of movement in the scene.
Okay, so different speeds.
Exactly. At the higher levels, longer segments, you've got the parts of the scene that change slowly or not at all.
Like the background?
Exactly. Then as you go down the levels, shorter segments, things that are moving faster.
Someone walking across the scene.
Exactly, you got it.
It's like a zoom function for time. I'm starting to see how that could help.
It's all about efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of creating new Gaussian primitives every time something moves a little,
right,
it can reuse them for the parts that stay the same.
That's smart. It's like reusing Legos.
Exactly. Less work, less memory. Everyone wins.
So it's being really picky about what data it needs to process at any given moment.
Exactly. And that's why it can handle those super long videos, even a 10-minute video. The memory usage stays pretty constant.
Really? That's impressive.
It's a game changer.
But they didn't stop there, did they? There's also this compact appearance model.
Oh, yes.
It sounds like it's trying to slim things down even further.
It is, and it does it by being clever about how it stores information about the appearance of different surfaces.
Okay, on textures and stuff.
Right, but not all surfaces need the same level of detail.
Right.
Some surfaces are what we call diffuse.
Diffuse.
Meaning they appear the same color from different angles.
Like a matte wall?
Exactly, and then you have view-dependent surfaces.
Shiny things.
Right, where the color changes depending on how you look at it.
Okay, so matte versus shiny. But how does that save space?
Well, the compact appearance model can identify those diffuse Gaussians and store their information more efficiently.
So it's like compressing the data without losing the quality.
Precisely. It's like a really good zip file for your 3D scene.
That's pretty neat.
It is very clever.
Okay, so we've got a super efficient way of representing the scene. But how does it actually get rendered, in real time?
Right, because we're talking about creating something interactive, right?
Exactly. Something you can experience, not just watch.
Well, that's where that hierarchical structure comes in again.
Oh, okay.
Think of it as a roadmap.
All right.
It helps the system quickly pinpoint the relevant Gaussian primitives for that exact moment in time.
So it knows exactly what to grab.
Right, and then those primitives are fed into a rendering pipeline that uses a combination of CUDA sorting.
That's for super fast organization, right?
Yeah. Yes, and traditional graphics techniques to turn those primitives into the pixels you see on screen.
So they're blending the best of both worlds.
Exactly, speed and precision.
And the result is real-time rendering, even for these complex scenes.
That's right. Smooth, detailed, and responsive, even for longer sequences.
That's really impressive. So they've cracked the efficiency problem.
They have.
But the real test is how well it actually works.
Right. Does it deliver on its promises?
Let's find out.
Let's do it. So to put TGH to the test, they ran it through a gauntlet of benchmarks, comparing it to a whole slew of existing methods on different data sets.
It's like a volumetric video showdown.
Exactly. They went up against 3DGS, 40GS, ENR-F, even 4K40, which, by the way, they specifically called out as a target.
Oh, wow. So they were really aiming high.
They were.
So how did our champion fare?
TGH came out swinging. It consistently outperformed or matched the competition across the board.
That's impressive.
It delivered better visual quality.
Okay. Sharper details, you name it.
So it's not just about pretty pictures, though, right?
No, it's also about efficiency. And TGH boasted a smaller model size.
Which is a big deal when we're talking about these massive amounts of data.
Absolutely. It means less storage, faster processing.
Right, right.
And remember our conversation about memory usage during training?
Yeah, that was a big concern.
Well, TGH aced that test, too.
Really?
It kept those memory requirements nice and low.
So it's not hogging resources.
Nope, efficient and powerful.
That's the dream team right there.
It is.
But the ultimate test? They created their own data set, right?
They did. They called it self-cap, short for self-captured.
Okay.
And this was specifically designed to push TGH to its limits.
So it was even tougher than the existing benchmark.
Much tougher. The videos were significantly longer.
We're talking minutes-long videos, right?
That's right. Not just those little snippets we've been talking about.
So like a real-world scenario. Exactly. Something that could actually be used for, immersive experiences.
Okay, so what happened when they unleashed self-cap?
TGH didn't flinch. It handled those extended sequences like a champ.
So it passed the ultimate test.
It did, proving that it could truly scale to the demands of long-form volumetric video.
That's a huge win.
Huge.
But what I find really cool is that they didn't just stop at, showing that it worked. They actually dug deeper, like trying to understand why and how TGH performed so well.
They wanted to get under the hood.
Yeah.
See what made it tick.
Exactly. So how did they do that?
With something called an ablation study.
An ablation study.
It's like taking apart a high-performance engine piece by piece.
Got it.
To see how each part contributes to its power.
Interesting. So they were basically breaking down TGH.
Yes, removing or tweaking specific components.
Okay.
And then seeing how it affected the performance.
So it's like a controlled experiment.
It is.
To isolate the different variables.
Exactly. For example, they wanted to know what would happen if they removed the compact appearance model.
That thing that was saving all that space.
Right. Would it affect the model size, the visual quality?
And by doing that, they could really pinpoint the specific contributions of each component.
Exactly. They could see what was really doing the heavy lifting.
Very clever.
They also messed around with the number of levels in the hierarchy.
That family tree structure we talked about.
Yes, to see how the depth of the tree impacted performance.
So they were basically fine-tuning the architecture.
Right, finding the sweet spot between capturing detail and maintaining efficiency.
Very cool.
And through all these experiments, they gained invaluable insights into how TGH worked.
Okay.
Which paved the way for further improvements and optimizations down the line.
So it's not just about the here and now, but also about the future.
It's about pushing the boundaries.
Exactly.
And always looking for ways to make things better.
So we've got this amazing new technology that can handle these incredibly complex, long-form, volumetric videos. But what does it all mean? Like, what are the real-world applications?
That's where things get really exciting.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about a technology that could revolutionize everything from entertainment to education, healthcare, even architecture.
Okay, so let's break it down, starting with entertainment.
All right, imagine watching a movie.
Okay.
But you're not just sitting there passively.
Right.
You're actually inside the scene.
Whoa.
You can move around, explore, choose your own viewpoint.
That would be insane.
It would.
Like a choose your own adventure movie, but on steroids.
Exactly.
Or a concert where you can like walk on stage.
You can be right there in the front row or even backspread age.
That's wild.
It is.
Okay, so entertainment, check.
So
what about education?
Education has massive potential.
Right.
Imagine learning history by actually stepping into a historical event.
Like walking with dinosaurs.
Exactly. Or witnessing the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
That would be so much more engaging than reading a textbook.
It would. You're not just learning about it, you're experiencing it.
Okay, I'm sold. Education, check.
Check.
What about healthcare? You mentioned that one.
Oh, healthcare is huge. Surgeons could practice complex surgeries
Oh, wow.
in a safe virtual environment.
So like a flight simulator for doctors.
Exactly. Risk-free training.
That's incredible.
Or therapists using VR to treat phobias.
Okay.
Exposing patients to their fears in a controlled setting.
Right. That makes sense.
It's a powerful tool.
Okay, so healthcare, check.
Check.
And lastly, architecture. How would this play a role there?
Imagine designing a building and then being able to walk through it
Oh, wow.
before it's even built.
To get a real sense of the space.
Exactly. You can make changes, adjust the design.
That would save so much time and money.
It would, and prevent costly mistakes.
Right.
So yeah, the applications are pretty mind-blowing.
They are. It feels like we're just scratching the surface.
We are. This is just the beginning.
But with all this power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that these advancements are used ethically.
Right.
And that they benefit society as a whole.
Yeah, it's not just about cool tech for the sake of cool tech.
It's about using technology to make the world a better place.
Couldn't agree more. So we've got TGH, this amazing breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's revolutionizing volumetric video.
It is.
But it's also making us think differently about how we approach information in general.
That's the really exciting part.
It is, because who knows what other amazing discoveries are waiting to be made.
Who knows? Maybe the next time we do one of these deep dives, we'll
Yeah.
be talking about how TGH is being used to model the human brain.
That would be wild.
It would.
Or to design self-sustaining ecosystems.
Or to predict the future of the stock market.
Okay, maybe not that far.
Maybe. You never know.
Well, I, for one, am excited to see where this all goes.
Me too. The future of volumetric video is bright
Very bright.
and full of possibilities.
And with that, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But there's always more to explore.
Always.
So until next time,
Until next time.
keep on diving deep.
Dive deep. You know, we've talked about all the technical stuff, the
Yeah.
applications, the history.
Mm.
But what really gets me excited about this research
Yeah.
is how it makes you think differently about information. Like how we organize it,
Right.
how we interact with it.
The whole new way of looking at things.
Exactly.
Not just pretty pictures,
Right.
but a whole new way of thinking.
And TGH shows us
Yeah.
that this hierarchical approach,
Mhm.
it's really powerful.
Okay.
And it could have a huge impact.
Like on what?
Well, imagine applying this to the brain.
The brain.
Yeah, like modeling how those neural networks are structured.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is.
Okay, what else?
Or ecosystems.
Okay.
Capturing all those complex interactions between different species.
That's a lot of data.
It is.
But TGH could handle it.
I think so.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, you could even try to visualize the global economy.
Oh, hold on. That's getting a bit crazy.
Maybe a little.
But the point is,
Mm-hmm.
this hierarchical structure, it could be a game changer.
It's like we found a new language
Sure.
for understanding complexity.
I like that.
And what's amazing
Yeah.
is that it's so intuitive.
What do you mean?
Well, think about how we organize information in our own minds.
Okay.
We start with the big picture,
Right.
and then we break it down.
Into smaller chunks.
Exactly. And that's basically what TGH is doing,
It's like as mimicking how our brains work.
which might be why it's so effective.
It's like researchers have tapped into something fundamental.
It's possible.
So where does all this lead?
Well, it feels like we're on the verge of something big.
Yeah.
A whole new way of interacting with information.
That's exciting.
It is.
But also a bit daunting.
It is, because with this power
Mm-hmm.
comes responsibility. We need to make sure these advancements are used for good.
Absolutely. Technology should serve humanity.
Couldn't agree more.
So who knows what the future holds?
It's hard to say.
But maybe next time we do one of these deep dives,
Yeah.
we'll be talking about how TGH is being used to cure diseases.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
Or to solve climate change.
Or to create world peace.
Okay, let's not get too carried away.
All right.
But the possibilities are definitely exciting.
They are.
And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Me too.
Thanks for taking us on this journey.
My pleasure.
Until next time,
Until next time.
keep exploring.
And keep asking questions.
That's what it's all about.
It is.